This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Okay, Rabbi Glatstein, one idea on Parshas Pekudei. This is something I heard many years ago from Rabbi Reisman. It's a very interesting ha'ara. Typically, when a person wants to cheshbon how big a Rishus Harabim is, so Rishus Harabim is an area that 600,000 Jews travel. And where is that derived from? It's derived from the Machane Yisrael. There were 600,000 Jews. The problem is, in this week's Parsha, we count much more than 600,000 Jews. There are 603,550. So why, if an area is traveled by 600,000 Jews, does it make it Rishus Harabim? You should need 603,550. I mean, the pasuk says, Perek Lamed Ches pasuk Chavav, Bekal Agol Goyles Machatzis Hashekel B'Shekel HaKodesh L'Chol HaOiver Al Pekudim Miben Esrim Shana V'Mala L'Sheish Me'ois Elef U'Shloishes Alafim V'Chamesh Me'ois V'Chamishim. Now it's interesting. The 600,000 Jews, 603,550, 600,000 Jews giving a Machzis HaShekel equals Me'as Kikar, which is 3,000 shekel, and they were used to make the Adonim. And the 3,550, who each gave a Machzis HaShekel, that came out to 1,775 Machzis HaShekel. So where does this cheshbon come from? That in order to create a Rishus Harabim, you need 600,000 Jews going through. That's just totally not an accurate number. You know, it's interesting, in the Gemara Megillah, the Gemara says that the Machzis HaShekel of all of Klal Yisrael equals exactly 10,000 talents of silver. And Tosfos says that's the exact number of 600,000 Jews. Chassam Sofer makes a cheshbon, how we come out with 600,000. But that means that there were 600,000 Jews, not 603,550. But the Torah says 603,550. So that should be the definition of Rishus Harabim. In Parshas Kiseitze, we just read it in Shabbos Zacha, we say, Vayizaniv b'cha kol hanecha shalom acharecha. That there were Jews who were stragglers. Who were they? From Shevet Dan, some say Erev Rav. And we don't exactly know how many there were. How many Jews were straggling behind the camp? And Rabbi Reisman said that if somehow we could come up with the calculation that the number of stragglers were 3,550, then it would be a very convenient way to answer this question, because that means the main body of the Jewish people were 600,000, and indeed the total was 603,550, but the additional 3,550, they were not part of the main body of the people. Now, we're not given this figure anywhere, that the extra 3,550 were outside the camp, but Rabbi Reisman brought a very compelling remez. Because if you look in the beginning of Pekudei, it says that the amount of money that was donated as a Machzis HaShekel was Me'as Kikar ve'elef u'shva me'ois v'chamisha v'shivim shekel b'shekel HaKodesh. So everybody gave a half a shekel, and 100 Kikar was used for the Adonim and the Adnei HaKodesh and the Adnei HaParoiches, 100 Adonim for the 100 Kikar. And the 1,775, they made hooks for the poles. Which means as follows. Was there anything that was donated to the Mishkan that was really outside of the Kodesh, outside of the sanctuary? There was only one item, the Vavin, the hooks, that were curved outside of the Machane Shechina. So it would come out very compelling. 600,000 Jews contributed 100 kikar that went to construct the Adonim that were part of the Machane Shechina. 3,550 Jews contributed 1,775 machzas hashekel, shekel, to construct vavim that went out of the Machane Shechina. This would seem to indicate that the number of stragglers that were not part of the main body of the Jewish people were 3,550, and they in fact donated their machzas hashekel that went to make the one item that hung and went outside of the Machane Shechina. So this would seem to be a remez that in fact the main body of the Jewish people were indeed 600,000 Jews, and the additional 3,550 came from the stragglers. Okay, that's what I got for you today. Be'ezus Hashem, hope to be on a more regular schedule next Friday. See everybody, Be'ezus Hashem, next week. I wish you all bracha v'hatzlacha and a good Shabbos. Shkayach.
Thank you.
Shabbos, good Shabbos.
Thank you, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.